Hello, metalheads. This is Nelson from Central Service. Welcome to Enigma Media.
Ah, man. Ich will kommen warm.
It didn't take that long to make me fall. I'm bleeding back against the wall. You're screaming for something to change, and I don't want to see you fall. You're a victim of an endless role, so you're leaving our lives once again. Let's go, I'm waiting for a leap of faith. This will be the last time that you ever scream my name. So help me see, 'cause we all deserve change. Help me breathe, 'cause I'm going insane. These sleepless nights melting.
What up, headbangers? How you doing? I'm Robb.
I'm Norm Mathers.
Welcome to Enigma Media. Today we're chilling with Truth and Tragedy out of Germany and England, and we're chilling with their manager, Eric. How you guys doing?
I'm fine.
What
Yeah,
do you
good,
guys-
Thank you.
Why don't you guys introduce yourself and let us know how the band got together?
Can you go, Fred or James? Or
Aaron?
Aaron is not there. I don't know what Aaron have some problem, but
Oh,
your
okay.
cause.
I'm sorry. What about now?
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Alright.
Introduce yourself, Aaron. And,
Yeah, so I'm originally from North Carolina, but ended up in Germany through some adventures in the Army, and kind of stuck around for a bit. And me and Freddie met there in a band that we kind of still do together called Veiled Ocean. And we couldn't play anymore because Corona. We couldn't meet or do rehearsals or record anything like that. So me and Freddie decided to do our own thing because there's only two of us, so it didn't really matter. So then Truth and Tragedy was born in September 2020.
Oh wow, yeah, that's like super quick. Like you guys are young.
Yeah.
Wow. Who does the drumming for you guys?
Drumming?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Who-
talk to Freddie about that.
Yeah, I program the drums.
Oh,
we
okay.
don't have a drummer.
So you guys are definitely like self-sufficient in the aspect of being able to record then.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that's
wicked.
the reason why things have moved along so quickly so far, because we
Yeah,
don't have
and-
to really deal with other people.
Yeah, and I mean your guys' sound is like super fucking tight, which is like for being
Thanks,
less
man.
than a year, like holy shit. Because I dig it. It's super good. And it's got a unique twist on it. Like you definitely feel like you're listening to a
Shit.
5-piece and then you realize that it's a 2-piece and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like props to you guys for being able to kill it on that level, because damn, that's pretty gnarly.
Thank you, man.
How was recording the recent singles that you guys released?
Excuse me?
Your singles recently, your single Helmand and the other EP that you released, how was the experience? Because I know that you guys aren't together. So has it been easy just sending stuff back and forth?
Yeah, I think basically it was easy. I recorded everything in my home studio, the instrumentals, sent them over to Aaron. Aaron did his stuff, sent it back to me, and I put it together. That's all.
Wow, hey, so you recorded all the instrumentals for that, and Aaron
Yes.
does the vocals? Crazy. Wow. You must have like 4 different minds going. Right? That's
Yes, sometimes I feel like that, yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. You don't see that often. That one man's able to produce that much different sounding instrumentals and melodies, you know what I mean? A lot of the time they'll like fall onto a certain melody and stick to it, as where you're like able to break off and branch off, and it sounds like I said, 5 members when
Mhm.
it's only 2 of you. That's super unique. How has it been for you to create that? Like, has it been stressful, or did it just flow for you to write all that?
Well, for me, it's kind of just flowed because, to be honest, Freddie does pretty much all the instruments anyways.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a pretty, I feel like I'm just tagging along sometimes because he just sends me pretty much a completed song. and then I just write and record the vocals, and then we have a song.
Right? That's awesome though. Like, shit. I think everybody would want that as a vocalist. I know if we could just have like every member in our band be able to like write, record, and send it, and I'd just be so happy. I'd be like, yeah, I can just write all day, every day. So no, that's wicked. How so you said that you guys were in a band before, so COVID has affected your career then musically because you guys had to start a whole new project.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we met I think I joined Veldosian in 2018, I think, and that's where
Yes.
me and Freddie met, and it was going pretty well until then. We had an EP with them, and we played a few shows and things like that, but Corona kind of hit, and people want to do their own thing, and some people are willing to break the rules and meet up and play when you shouldn't, and so it didn't really work out. But we're still kind of doing it now that restrictions are kind of being loosened a little bit.
Yeah,
It's kind of starting to become a thing again. But that's pretty much the reason why Truth and Tragedy became a thing, because you can do things with two people.
yeah. Do you guys plan when things open up to find a drummer and start touring?
Well,
or
yeah,
performing?
we pretty much now we have a live crew lined up. So
Oh, sweet.
whenever things do open up, like here in the UK, it's starting to look kind of optimistic.
hmm
So
Yeah, you guys are
when
aiming
it
for
does
the
open
summer,
up, we
aren't
can
you?
just go and
They're aiming for the summer, aren't they?
play live shows.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. See, that's nice because I'm not 100% sure on when we can perform. I know they just allowed band practices in Alberta. As long
Yes,
as it's-
I begin to check for a possibility for shows and everything, but not sure yet when we'll be able to.
yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like everywhere
Okay.
else is opening up before us, but I mean, that's kind of a good thing because you guys have a way thicker music scene, so it's kind of needed before it dies completely. How is the scene in England and Germany?
I think in England it's pretty good, but I just moved here in December and have been in lockdown, so I haven't really been
Mhm.
able to go out and experience anything. But from what I know, from the people I know around here, it's pretty good. But from my time in Germany, I think it's pretty much alive and well in Germany, if not getting more popular.
Yeah, I've heard Germany's
In
music
some
scene
places,
kicks ass.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
heard that it's
in
got a wicked
Germany
scene.
it totally depends on the town where you are, on the city.
Oh,
Because
okay.
in the east of Germany, there's a way bigger hardcore scene than over here.
Yeah.
Okay. But is the metal scene like decent in Germany?
Yes,
Or is
yes,
it,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah, that's what I thought because I heard that it's pretty solid as in like bands are tight knit. They keep together, they work together really well. And
Yeah.
the crowd is really supportive, which is a nice thing because
Yeah.
in
I think
Canada,
people spend money on it in Germany as well.
yeah, and I mean in Western
We wanna
Canada,
support the
it's really hard to get people to come to shows because there's not that many venues. Everyone's so far spread out. So I could see
Yeah,
Germany, so many people in Germany, and it's such a small country, right? That
Mhm.
any show would be a wicked show, kind of a thing, which
Yeah.
is
Well,
beneficial.
we have played shows in front of like 12 people before as well too, but that's gonna happen.
Those are my favorite though. Like sometimes those are the best shows. You play
Yeah, but
so
as
hard, you know.
It's kind
The
of like
very little ones,
like-
yeah.
as
Yeah,
a vocalist,
no.
you kind of before you go out, you picture like everybody's gonna be like, "Rah," and then you go out and there's 12 people, and you're like, "Shit!" I mean, that's
Yeah.
great. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're like screaming at the people to get up from the bar. Like, come
Yeah,
here,
you're like,
come here,
"Hey, the show's
motherfucker.
almost here. Come up here." And like in like the German passengers, like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I imagine German people are like bigger boys. You got some bigger boys in the metal scene, you know what I mean? So you're just like, don't want to scream at them too much. No, how has writing been for you guys besides that before previous with your other band? How many members did you guys have?
We were 5 members
Okay.
in Wild Ocean. And the writing process is basically we get together in the rehearsal room.
And just jam it out.
And somebody brings an idea or something, and then just see how it's going.
Do you guys plan to go back to that after COVID opens up, or you just you found what you want to do and this is what you're doing?
Veldosian wise, we probably will, but for Truth and Tragedy, I think we try to keep it between, like creatively, we try to keep it me and Freddie,
Mhm.
and then have like on the album and recording, it'll be me and Freddie with probably the assistance of like real life drummers and things like that because it just sounds cooler.
Mhm.
And then live have like a crew to do live shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Creatively, I found it way easier with just 2 people.
Yeah, because it's not. It's 2
because
times
with 5 people, you have 5 different ideas, 5 people pulling in 5 different directions, and you know, which is great. It's cool because you need
It
that.
is.
But it's also a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Can be, yeah.
I always find that it's like a baby, like everyone has that emotional attachment to what they've created because they put so much into it that it's hard to detach away from the emotional aspect sometimes when it is a business aspect.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, especially nowadays, because the music industry has changed so much and so dramatically in the past year and a half that it's kind of hard for us to adapt to what it's going to be because we have no clue what it's going to become unless we're the ones who take it over and kind of create it, so I'm waiting to see what happens after COVID. I'm super hopeful that
I'm pretty hopeful, yeah.
I'm hopeful
I think
that
people will be hungry for it. I hope so, at least.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm hopeful for. Like, at least I think that people will start to go out more because I think everyone took for granted their last live performance at this point. Like,
that's true, man. Yeah.
Like, musicians themselves are like, I should have gone way fucking harder. Like, that one song, man, I sat there and just headbanged. I should have fucking gone hard. So, I know I would have gone way harder for our last show if I knew that it was going to be our last show for over a year.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely.
Yeah. So I definitely think that mentality will like carry through even to the fans, and everyone will be just like packed shows. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that.
It's going to be a drug when we finally get to go back.
Oh yeah.
People are going to be itching for it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think people will have money to spend, or even if they don't, they will spend it on things like that because they're tired of being stuck in their house.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I read an article and it was saying that like 20% of Canadians in like a vote or a poll said they don't want to go back to live concerts. Really? Like, that's a huge chunk of people because they're just scared now because of the whole pandemic. Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, I hope that doesn't actually carry through. Like, I hope they don't genuinely. I hope that changes. Like, I hope they're like, okay, yeah, once it's passed and everyone's like vaccinated and whatever, and things go back to normal, or what we call normal. And I think they'll be like less fearful of the consequences.
I think every time something happens, there's like a fear, whatever. And I think those things, you just forget things, don't you? It'll get faded out eventually.
Especially us.
It will never be exactly the same, but
yeah, human attention span now is so quick. I think that'll just like 2 months after, it'll be like everyone forgot about it, kind of a thing. Other than like the craziest like look backs. So no, it's been a weird year for bands, I think, and especially like the fact that you guys were in a band and you had to stop due to not performing. That's happened to a lot of people, and I imagine it's happened to a lot of bigger bands that we look up to, and like not necessarily some that we do and some we don't, but like bands that rely on touring, their whole livelihood's fucked because we don't make royalties. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of the bigger bands will go bankrupt and it'll open up a whole new market.
Yeah, maybe it's an opportunity.
Yeah, because the labels, like major labels, don't have a grip on the music industry like they used to. They've lost it because there's no revenue coming in. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing whatever they can to bring in money and new artists, but they're not bringing in quality, and quality is what you need. So after like post-pandemic, I think things are going to be a lot different, and I think it'll open up a huge market for emerging bands that have adapted to the new climate, because it is totally a market based on performances and selling yourself versus selling your music.
Yeah,
which sucks because I mean, as an emerging band with less than 10,000 fans on Facebook and social media, people don't really give you that time of day to look at your music.
Limited,
Yeah, it's almost like it's the popularity contest I always talk about is like, if I'm in a band. Oh, well, how many likes do you have?
Yeah.
Well,
why does that matter?
Yeah, does that determine how good the music is, right? So like, because I've heard bands with like 30,000 fans that just fucking suck, and I'm like, they're really good at spending money.
Marketing.
That's the point. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, so it's a weird time because it's either like invest in yourself and fucking hope and pray, because it's not like based on talent anymore.
Yeah.
But I hope that switches back, because I definitely think that, like, back to the point of major labels, I think they'll have to go back out and start looking for new talent like they used to.
Back out in the venues.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
cool.
Like that's what they used to do, and I think that's why that's why Metallica was found. That's why Megadeth was found. Like
Yeah.
all the bands we look up to is because somebody went out there and was like, "These guys have it," not because they sent it to a record label. You know, like it
Yeah.
didn't work that well. Everyone back then was sending shit to labels, so it's still like that now. It's so flooded.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
look at Spotify, and it's like, I don't know. There's a ton of good bands not getting noticed.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think the spotters just inhabit social network, Facebook and stuff nowadays. So they just scroll like anyone else.
Yeah.
And if they like the product you're putting out, then that's how they pick their next
Yeah.
victim.
Yeah, that does make sense. I could see
Like a
that.
meat
They're not-
market.
Yeah, exactly, right. But it's almost like you
Scroll
don't get.
through to the best stock.
Yeah, so who makes the best content versus who
How
makes the
did-
best music?
How did you guys find Eric?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Or did Eric find you guys?
But it's they begin with they signs with the AMG record, the label, the Artillery Music Group in the US, and it's I'm working for Terror Crew Production, and it's the same CEO who have the label and the management company, and it's the way I discover them, and we begin to talk and watch what we can do together, and it's where we start.
That's wicked. Yeah, because you definitely work with some wicked bands. Like everyone that
Yes,
you've showed us, we definitely have that we've met so far has been pretty genuine and down to earth, which is awesome. Because, like,
Well, I begin to start a kind of project to promote underground band to help them the best way I can, because I know it's not easy for bands sometimes, and if I can help, and I discover a band like this, and personally I love to choose mine. I need to love the band to be able to sell it. I need to like them. I can't manage a band who I don't like their music or
Yeah.
whatever. It's
you have to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And I could see why you backed them, because they have such wicked music, and it's very unique, and it's got its own flavor, and like it's so full and powerful. And like I keep coming back to the fact that it's a two-piece, and I'm like, man, like the only other two-piece I could ever think that was that able to make a song sound so full would probably be like Death from Above. And I don't know why, but it's because they're not metal, but like the sound they make is so big that it's cool to see. And because it's hard to be able to produce that, especially with one person doing it themselves, because they'll definitely tend to overthink.
Yeah.
Is this guitar riff too loud? Is this too loud? The bass is this, it's harder when you're a self-producer versus sending it off to somebody to do mixing and mastering. Like you get so comfortable with the song that you almost hate it halfway through the project.
We do have a guy who does the mixing mastering for us.
Oh, okay. So you just do all the tracking and then send it off?
I definitely don't know how to
Yes.
do it. I couldn't even turn on Zoom.
Yes, I record all the stuff, do like a rough mix,
Okay.
and send that to our guy. Like, okay, listen to it. This is how it should sound, but with your great magic things.
Yeah. No, and
Did
that's,
did the process change from the first 3 songs you guys released and then the single?
No.
Everything was the same?
Yes.
Because that new single that you guys released, not that it's head and feet above the other 3 songs, but it did sound a lot cleaner. I found that the screams were more prominent in the new song. I enjoyed it.
Well, yeah. For the
Sorry, I thought I was gonna say something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because it's definitely true though. The sound has changed. It feels like it feels like it got more prominent and powerful, like the vocal aspect in the recording.
Yeah, I think we actually recorded all of them together, didn't we?
Did you?
Yes, the first 4 songs was recorded together here
Sorry.
in my home studio.
Nice.
Okay, and you sent them off to the same person?
Yes.
Cool. Wow. You can definitely hear like the progression of the producer then, because that's
No,
crazy.
no.
Or at least the attention to detail on that one for your vocals, because
We might have gotten more comfortable with how we were doing it because I definitely never just recorded in some guy's living room before.
Fair enough.
yeah, fair enough. No, it's sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? And it works. I've seen bands go into major studios and completely bomb what they're doing, and then bands that have done it in their living room and just fucking kill it. So it really depends on how much time and effort you put into it and who's producing for you, because some people can say they can produce and work for big labels and just don't have what it takes for metal, versus
Yes.
somebody who's dedicated and passionate for that genre. They can make it sound so much better. And I love
Absolutely.
I love the independence now. Like I love that there's so many people doing it and producing. It's a beautiful thing to have that power back in our hands, versus having to pay thousands of dollars to go book hours and make sure you do the
Yeah.
right takes, and by the time you're done you're not happy, you know. So I think the benefits to COVID have become more than they were before. Like I used to think it was a curse, and now I'm like a year off to focus on writing and like being able to be independent. And I don't know, it's kind of like it's a total blessing. Like I'm actually really thankful, because I think if we would have rushed into performing right away, being a new band, because we started in, I think we were officially a band in like November of 2019. And then we ended up losing a drummer through recording process, and then we had to find a new drummer, so we restarted. But I think if we would have rushed into that, I don't think our sound and style and would be as refined as it is now, I guess, because we've definitely been able to take time for the band. Before, I know I was in other bands where you don't have that, you know, you rush to jam, performances, work.
Yeah.
So it's nice that we actually just got a year to focus on our art and our craft.
Yeah, basically, I got all my home studio set up when COVID starts, just so I can do my music every time I want, and don't have to drive to some studios or to rehearsal rooms. So I can just sitting here in my living room and do my thing.
Yeah, and I mean, with YouTube, you can learn anything.
Yeah.
Like you can learn how to produce. Like you can learn how to do whatever the hell you wanted and take it into your own hands and be comfortable with it. So it's nice, because I definitely think that we've gained that benefit in the music industry, where we're taking it back slowly.
It definitely has changed though. It's definitely changed the way you do things, because it would have also been easy to waste all that whole year and not get anything done.
I do think some bands did. I do think some bands just kind of went, what the fuck are we gonna do, kind of a thing. So, I mean, the market, I think the market pre-COVID was flooded, and post-COVID, I think, yeah, there's a lot of bands putting shit online, but I don't think a lot of bands are gonna be able to hold up to the long run, because it's a totally different market now. It's a total different world. We're not dealing with the music industry of 1990 or the early 2000s. Like things have changed. And
well, I think it'll be a whole different thing again if things get back to normal. It'll be different than it was during the lockdowns, and it'll be different than it was before the lockdowns, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be a whole new fucking market, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, people got to just live with themselves for a whole year. They're gonna be fucking wild.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It changes everything.
Yeah. If there was anything in the industry that you guys, right? If there was anything in the industry you guys could change, what do you think it would be?
I wish you didn't have to sell yourself like a slut on Instagram.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Right? I don't know. I'm not an Instagrammer. I try to be, but it's hard to be like a musician and worry about that popularity contest.
It's hard to just worry about all the channels of it, right? Like, do you want to be big on Facebook? Do you want to be big on Instagram? Do you want to be big on YouTube, TikTok? Like, what do you choose nowadays?
I just want to play music.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't we just
Right?
play
Like,
shows?
Can't we just go-
That's the same for us, man.
Yeah, like can't we just play music? It's not like we're not like we don't need to show I don't know, yeah, like
Yeah.
TikTok where you see bands
exactly.
doing like fads and I'm like using like famous other like pop artist music. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't
Like,
even know what to do on TikTok.
right? I
I
don't either.
downloaded it thinking
I posted a video and I was
I
like,
never
oh,
even opened
sweet.
it.
Yeah, I downloaded it, posted a video, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's no, I'm not gonna do this. Not right now. So it's weird that has to be like. I wish MySpace was back, where it was about music. It was
Yes.
like, but like I guess Spotify is, but it's not because it's not really. It's not good for the musicians, and I know that we think it is at first. We're like, oh yeah, I got our music on Spotify. In reality, it's like, no, probably shouldn't do that in the long run. It's not going to get anywhere. There's so much on there, and it doesn't pay worth it. So I think a new approach at an app for musicians would be a cool thing to see. I think that would be ideal for everyone in the industry because. At least on our aspect, because at least then we get paid properly and then we can invest properly back into our careers. And then
Yes.
like we could probably live off our career instead of having to like always struggle, always work a second job, even though you're like working full time as a musician. It's like, it is a job. People don't realize it's
I think
not.
I think general
It's
population
more
would-
than a full-time job, actually.
It is, yeah. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm going until like 10 o'clock at night. So I don't know how many other jobs do that for people do that for less than for pennies. You know what I mean?
No, no.
It's dedication. Musicians are the most dedicated and hardworking people on the planet. I always say that. And I think just metalheads in general, like you look at a metalhead and how dedicated they are to their bands that they love. Like,
Yeah.
fuck,
It's like a
try and-
religion.
right? It is. It's always like, I don't know. Like I've met metalheads that would like fight you if you said you hated Slayer. So like, you don't see that anywhere else in any other aspect of
Yeah.
life. So
Yeah.
I'm-
Loyalty.
it's hard work and determination, I think, that makes a band. And I think that you guys have shown that you're gonna do that. You have, because you've just said, fuck it, we're gonna do it. And you
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Green
Produce
Girl,
some sick-
start a band.
right, you produce some sick fucking music, and now post-COVID, you guys have a whole fucking opportunity and just like fresh doors opening, and
Yeah, we
The
didn't
whole
waste
world.
Corona. We have a whole album ready, so
that's wicked. I can't wait to hear it. When you guys do release it, you should let us know and we'll have you back on. Be good to have you guys back on for another
sure,
interview.
yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yes.
Is there
Yes.
anything you guys want to say before we wrap up?
Basically, thank you for having us.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
and whoever sees this, please go buy merch because I'm broke.
Right? Right? Support. People always support business, local business. I'm like, support local bands. Like, go buy something.
Please.
We're the poorest
Send help.
of the local businesses.
Yes, we're the poorest of the poorest. Like, please just buy a song, one song. Cool, guys. Well, it was good talking to you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah,
man.
Thank
Sorry,
you,
man.
guys.
You guys stay
Grab it.
safe.
Hopefully we'll be back when the album's out.
For sure. We'll put all your links and everything in the description below.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
man.
All right,
See ya.
guys. You stay safe.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little dicky bell because you don't want to miss out on any of the motherfucking shit we drop in. Right, Norman?
Absolutely, Rob.